So I started out sitting in my chair over there, but under the trees. But I figured I'd just come out here in the road where it's a little more light. Um, it's I didn't even notice what time it is. I think it's probably around 7 o'clock, just after 7. But Sunday evening, 28th of August, here in Maine at the same campsite. You know what? This is probably, I want to say this is the first time I've ever stayed anywhere same place 3 nights in a row. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. But anyhow, we've been so blessed with just an amazing campsite, again, here by the Appalachian Trail. And then, within walking distance of that beautiful, beautiful pond. Really, I mean, a lake. The thing was pretty big. But that was just so pleasant and so enjoyable, here this Sunday afternoon. It's been just a nice, laid back, chill day too. I mean, yesterday was as well, of course. But to this road, yesterday being a Saturday and folks having that wedding down there. I mean, this road was so busy, people coming and going. And today it is, and there's definitely been vehicles coming back and forth, but it's subsided a long time ago, and I haven't seen one in quite some time. Again, big difference in from what it has been. But it's nice, just nice and quiet back here. You can hear the birds, and yeah, it's just so nice. So yeah, this morning though, I got up and well, I'd already showed the video, or I made videos on it, made coffee here at camp and all that, and then I did go to town and I went to the Looney Moose. Treated myself to a big old, good breakfast, a big omelet and potatoes and sourdough bread, some more coffee, all that good stuff. And that's the first sit down in a restaurant meal also that I've had now since the Shining Light Cafe back in Minnesota, which it's been a couple weeks ago. I mean, I'm still eating good, of course. Been eating some what I just had again tonight, another bologna sandwich. I bought bologna and salami at that Potter's Market yesterday, and so yeah, just tonight ate another bologna sandwich. But yeah, that's out here. Well, I mean, I enjoy bologna at home, let alone out here. But as I've said before, everything out here is better. But back to breakfast. So yeah, I had a good breakfast, just good service. Just the women worked in there were nice, and food was really good. And too, I'm wearing a Looney Moose hat. I had to buy a hat, of course. I'm sure that surprises you all. I don't know how many hats I've bought on this trip. I've got quite the collection still with me, and I've sent a few home too. So yeah, that, and then I went back from there. I just went into town, a little bit further into town to the that museum, visitor center that I had sat around at yesterday for a little bit, which I may or may not have mentioned that. I'm thinking I did. But they've got a picnic table out in front of it, and yesterday I noticed that they had an outlet on the side of it. So I went back there and I charged it a little bit before church. And then I went to church. I went to the Calvary Bible Church there in Stratton, and was greeted at the door by a nice gentleman named Kirk, and just a pleasant, friendly guy. And then I met a lot of pleasant, friendly people there. They're very, very welcoming and just very friendly. And a lot of them came over to shake my hand. And what he had said, Kirk had asked me if he could say my name, from the pulpit, and mentioned that, I was there as a visitor. And, I said he could, of course. And so he did. And yeah, during the meet and greet, a bunch of them came over and shook my hand and introduced themselves. I met, well, I'd already met a guy behind me, Rob. Had met Rob and shook his hand again at the meet and greet, and also Jeff and his wife Molly, and then her sister Millie was there as well, and then her brother goes there. I didn't meet her brother, but he was sitting down from me, and his wife. And I met his wife, and I'm so sorry I don't remember your name. Give my apologies. But I met some young people. I met I met Josh and Caleb, I believe, and a little girl, cute little girl named Ellie, and I met Henry. Um, let's see. I met a gentleman named Jim, and then Pastor Randy, the pastor, came over and shook my hand, and also brought a really good message. Um, and I think that about covers everybody. I might be leaving somebody out, and if I am, I'm so sorry. I apologize. But anyhow, it was again, friendly people, a good worship. You can hear the folks singing out, which I always enjoy. I mean, that's what we're there for, to worship God, and it's nice when you can actually hear them singing, and they did, and Pastor Randy brought a really good message about trusting God. Yeah, so it's truly a blessing to be here. That's my first church service I've went to since Valdez, which has been a while. So it was good to be amongst the body of believers again, and to worship God and hear the word taught. It was very nice. So so I got back here about 1 o'clock, but I guess actually before I came back, I went back to the general store, to the Flagstaff general store, and I bought this big old brownie I just ate, and I also bought a sticker that I've already put on Zeke over there, and I put some more on there on him today as well. So I have to show him sometime, but he is just like I'm all tatted up. He's all stickered up. But yeah, I went back to the Flagstaff store, and that woman from yesterday wasn't there because I was going to tell her about my YouTube channel and the fact that I was going to talk about her and that experience, as a good thing, that what a, just good experience it was, but, clearly what it turned out to be. But she wasn't there, but I did talk to a young woman that had a baby hanging from the front, like in a papoose or something, which was cool. But she was a nice, friendly gal, and turns out that she is the, got a vehicle coming here, that she is the owner. And I was just telling her about yesterday and about, the fact it was a good experience. And let's sit down here. That I did have an issue. It seemed like when I started telling her, she kind of, I don't know, I guess kind of like knew where I was going or something. And she was just telling me too, though, they're short-handed. So everybody is just like, working a lot, I guess, and all that. So again, you just have to take, stuff into account. You need to give people, like my wife always says, Lori always says, you need to give people the benefit of the doubt. You just never know what's going on with them and what they're going through. But anyhow, it was good to meet the owner and to talk to her. And, but like I said, telling her, I didn't go into what happened, but I was just telling her about, we kind of got into it, or however said, I don't remember. But about the fact that how well it turned out, though, just how gracious this woman ended up being. And again, what I had to say on YouTube was a good thing. So I wanted them to know, and gave her I told her what my channel was. I don't know if they'll watch or not, but I hope so. So that, let's see. So I came back here, and again, just been hanging out, and as I said, went down to the pond. Talked to my buddy Jimmy this afternoon. It was good to talk to him, and again, with losing his wife Lou recently, early on in this journey, for me, sounds like he's, again, it sounds like he's doing good. And I'm just so thankful that he is. I pray for him often, and I'm just so glad he's doing well. I wanted to mention as well, I saw, walking back today, I thought it was a maple, but getting back here and seeing another maple, I think, that was not a maple, I don't think. But whatever it was, the leaves in this tree had turned pretty darn red. And that's something that I've been meaning to say, actually, is here, I don't know, in the past couple of weeks, I've noticed, because we are getting up in August, but even, a week or two ago, I noticed the trees, they're green, but I thought they had maybe just a slight, yellow tint to them. They weren't as green as they are, earlier in the summer, in the spring and in the summer. And that, they were just less green and, like I said, maybe like a hint of yellow. But then in Algonquin that day when we riked around the park all day. Um, there in Algonquin, I had noticed I definitely started seeing trees that were starting to turn, and they were, they were definitely turning yellow, not, a hint of yellow. They were definitely, they were turning and they were yellow. But then the other day, guess on Friday, riding in through Quebec, and the day, rode over into Maine, but I started seeing some orange, for what I remember. So again, I mean, it's late summer, and fall is definitely just around the corner. And to being this far north, of course, it's going to come earlier. But I mean, God willing, I'll be out of here and out of Vermont and all that stuff before peak season comes, of course. But still, I think I'm going to be seeing more and more color, which is great. I mean, I love fall. It's well, I love all the seasons, because I was going to say I love the spring too, though, because of turkey hunting. But if I had to pick, I don't know. It would be fall, probably. I mean, my whole life I've always loved fall, but probably who doesn't, right? Um, let's see. I think that's all I've got. Talked to Lori a little bit ago. Um, 12.2 miles a day is all I've done. And, I always say, my off days, I refer to the days I don't suit up. Well, I suit up to ride to town, but 12.2 miles isn't a lot of miles, suited up or not. I mean, it's definitely like an off day. These past couple of days have been, and they've been amazing, again, just chilling. I do like to chill. And again, I guess who doesn't, maybe. I don't know. Some people like to stay busy, like to stay active though. But no, I have no problem just kind of hanging out and enjoying a place. But it's good to finally be doing it too. So much of this trip, has just been, even though my days aren't big, they're still full days, and just kind of ride, and you know,